All right, Algebra 1, Chapter 2, Section 4, multi-step inequalities. Now we're going to combine all of that addition, subtraction, multiplication, division into one single problem, quite possibly. So let's just start with some basics. Let's go with negative 2x plus 16 is greater than or equal to 10. So we've got a couple things going on here, just like our multi-step equations from the last chapter. We want to get everything away from the x, so we're going to take the furthest one away, which is the positive 16, and to get it to the other side, we're going to subtract 16. That leaves us with negative 2x is greater than or equal to negative 6. Now, at this point, we are going to divide both sides by negative 2, and then that thought has to come back into my brain from last week where we multiply or divide by a negative number. We go ahead and flip the inequality sign. So that's going to cancel those negative 2's and make this x. And instead of greater than or equal to, now it's going to be less than or equal to, because I flipped the inequality sign, and negative 6 divided by negative 2 is positive 3. And if I wanted to put that on a number line real quick, I've got my 0, I've got my 3, I've got my negative 3, and above the positive 3 is going to be a closed circle because it is equal to, and less than means an arrow to the left. So now let's take a look at a second problem. This is going to have variables on both sides, so again, just combining some stuff that we've already done in past chapters. But now we have our variables 6x and 2x on opposite sides of each other. So let's go ahead and combine those. I want to move the smallest one to the biggest one, so I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. That leaves me 4x minus 5 is less than 11. Now I want to get rid of that negative 5, so I'm going to add 5 to both sides. That's going to give me 4x is less than 16. And then for this one, I'm going to divide both sides by 4. Notice I divided by a positive 4 this time. So that gives me no need to change that inequality sign. And 16 divided by 4 is 4. Now I want to save just a little bit of time, and I'm not going to put that on a number line right now, just so I can get to another type of problem. And so my next problem is going to be 8b minus 3. Or let's do x, 8x minus 3. I don't like b's because my b's look like 6's a little bit. So 8x minus 3 is greater than 4 times 2x plus 3. So we've got a lot of stuff going on here. Nothing I can do on the left-hand side, but on the right-hand side, notice I do have some distributive property that I can do. So I'm going to bring down that 8x minus 3. And now I'm going to do that distributive property. 4 times 2x gives me 8x. And 4 times positive 3 gives me positive 12. So now I have the exact same thing on both sides. So I have my 8x's and my 8x's, so they will cancel, and I'm left with negative 3 is greater than 12. Now, negative 3 is not greater than 12, so again, this will be no solution. So now, there are possible values that there might be infinite solutions. And so let's take a look at one of those. I'm just kind of thinking in the back of my brain here. Sorry for that pause. So let's go 2 times 5x minus 1 and that's going to be less than or equal to 7 plus 10w, or 10x, excuse me. So over here I do my distributive property, and I get 10x minus 2. Oh, I've forgotten something here. Oh no, I'm good. I'm sorry. I'm good. So 2 times -1 is -2, less than or equal to 7 plus 10x. So we have the exact same thing. We've got our 10x's on both sides. Those are going to cancel. So now I've got -2 is less than or equal to 7. That's actually true. -2 is less than 7. So the answer to this one is going to be all real numbers. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, Mr. Renault, aren't all numbers real? Well, we'll get into a little bit more at the end of algebra, and you'll see some of that in algebra 2 as well, where you will have some numbers that will be identified as not real. Okay, that's about 6.5 minutes. That is chapter 2, section 4, multi-step inequalities.